and that was like the last thing they did.
All right. Hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals. This time I caught Zach in the middle of a sentence. But my name is Andrew Otway, and I'm here to hopefully play some Burning Wheel with my friends who are nerds, my nerd friends. Zach's just...
your non-nerd friends.
I have a few non-nerd friends. Back of the room, Zach.
Sorry, I had left my tome on the shelf.
You don't always have it with an easy reaching power for potential preaching.
Normally I do, but then I actually put some stuff away this week, and it has proved to be my undoing. Well, you know.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Adam's got the right idea. You keep everything on a shelf with an easy reach.
Speaking of
I
Adam,
wish I turned my webcam, Mike.
speaking of Adam, let's throw to Adam and get some introductions going.
Yes. Hi, my name is Adam. Today I will be playing Magnus Luciano. And today is the day he either self-destructs as a character or really fun things happen. So we'll see. I guess I'll go into beliefs then.
Sure.
Non-citizen-owned businesses are to be used. I'll exploit them for monetary gain. Now the guild's been restored, I'll ensure its security. And I'm changing my last one.
Okay.
I don't remember what I did marked it last session, but this session, wealth must be recognized by the nobles. Formerly it was, I will open negotiations with them. I will change it to, I will show them its power.
Good.
This fully armed and operational capitalist station.
Fully armed and operational capital station.
I never pay full price for anything, even a kingdom. I refuse to lie to make a deal, and I'm starting my bee farm or whatever. I don't know, doing something with bees.
Well, so we were talking about how every good villain has like an innocuous seeming but actually deeply intimidating hobby. And so yours was going to be like beehives that are in the shape of like Iron Maidens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the buzzing of the bees. Pay no attention.
What's the...
Would you like to see my cask of Amontillado honey?
Traits: inscrutable, distracted, self-satisfied, prideful, traditionalist, violent, affinity for business. And I think last time you also mentioned we were going to do something with reconsidering traits this session, perhaps?
I think I mentioned it, and then I
was.
think we punted a little bit.
Okay.
But it's a thing that's happening on the horizon, like probably a few sessions away.
We'll see how bad things get, and then we'll make a trade vote.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if Magnus is still a playable character after today.
It's not like if you get too many dark side points, they get taken away from you.
So, actually, there is a mechanic for that exact transaction, Michael. It's called corruption.
Shit, wait, what?
It's called corruption. And if you succumb to the will of the dark gods, which in this setting is probably literally just rot.
Rot, yeah.
Then yeah, you start getting fun mutations like forked tongue or fur or tentacles. And at some point, your character just ceases to be a player character.
Yeah. Yeah, all non-human species have a way of getting themselves removed from the game too, whenever their like greed or grief or whatever gets too strong.
Yeah.
With humans, since we're playing with the rot rules, the corruption rules. Yeah, so if you pray to the dark gods on a hill in the middle of the night, you get some amount of corruption dice that you just get to use for stuff, and then every time you do, you risk getting a third eye in an unfortunate place, or like one of your arms turning into a pseudopod until you eventually just melt into a goo of dark side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that sounds great.
You can absolutely corrupt out. Check out if you have 50 hours that you need to murder slowly. Check out Roll20 Presents The Burning Wheel, and pay very close attention to Dave_the_humans characters. Because Brother Miro starts out as a good, innocent lad, and Yeah.
Doesn't stay that way.
Ends up more powerful than we can possibly imagine.
I mean,
Pretty much, yeah. Actually, like, starts off getting pushed around a little bit, and then he ain't pushed around by the end. So,
and then he makes a character who is actually very similar to Magnus in a few ways.
Shit. Who's next? Is it me? It's
Yeah.
been me for like 20 minutes now. Hi, I'm Mike J. Derrickson Brard. I play games and sometimes run games on this channel. I am playing a character whose name I will start reading in just a second once I finish stalling. Lady Margareta Agnesia Luca Pasqualina. Shit. Wrong character. Lady
Pasqualina.
Margareta Agnesia Luca Pasqualina Bianca Florentia Marte de Fabre. With no more names, it's just too much.
By the naming conventions we've already decided on, though, that shit in the middle is now canon.
She, aka Mockingbird, the scar over her left eye. She is a character drawn from the concept of what's her face from Dragon Age,
Liliana.
And it's taken a horrible turn at some point in the recent past. There's really a Liliana from the Time Mage Red Lyrium dimension. Yeah. Anyways, her beliefs are that fear is an effective mechanism of control. We will make a name for ourselves through escalation. I'm not sure when it became we. I'm going to pretend that's a...
I helped you with that one, or I think Zach and I helped you with that one, and it was like the mercenary company is the we there. Like your mercenary band.
You have goons now.
Not Lady Margaret as a collective. Got it.
Yeah. Otherwise, that would have a capital. Come on.
And speaking of capitals, this one is in all caps. Using the corpse of Thomas Cartwell, I will buy my way into the usurper's court. I've made no progress on that. So there's probably a moldering Thomas Cartwell at some place. Maybe I've dipped him in honey to keep him safe.
It has been 3 months since he shot himself in the head.
Yeah, don't forget the time skip. You now have, like, hopefully an embalmed, mummified corpse.
I was really hoping you'd be like, cool, go find the corpse. And like, it's 3 months old.
Does honey...
Honey actually is a preservative, isn't it?
Rotting.
But only if it doesn't attract scavengers.
I also want to shout out the DM or serial killer question that someone pointed out, and Mike just Google searched, does honey preserve a corpse?
Honey. Steeped in honey. It does. Thank you,
Yeah,
Adam.
I recall that being a thing, like, ancient Egyptians.
12th century Arabia.
Mummy, or is it Arabian? I remember something of.
The practice of mellification, literally transforming cadaver into human rock candy by steeping it in honey.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so Belief 3 is all changes rooted in chaos, and I will also discord by turning the usurper's own rules and traditions against them, aka something about murder.
Do you want to rewrite any of your beliefs?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure that they are believable.
Well, and you had some shit happen to you over the course of the last session. You met a new Cartswallop. You met your stupid, sexy brother.
Oh my god, that's right.
Your stupid, sexy brother. Your stupid, sexy brother, tried to bring you back to Dad's house in the middle of Dad's street.
Right, but that was going to be bad for me.
Because he wanted to have you sit there and chill out while the court sorcerer ripped your true name apart.
Yeah. Maybe I need something about protection from magic. Or like...
Ooh. Oh, that was the other thing is, I think Big Bro, or Sexy Bro, basically, let you know that the way they found out was because you were being scryed upon.
Right, yeah, I'm being magically scryed upon. Really, Margareta doesn't deserve any of this. She's just trying to win back her lovely father's affection by murder.
Mm-hmm.
Her instincts are to pry secrets from every lip, to never let something get too close, and always be network building. Her traits are your lordship because she's noble, just not high and mighty. Prideful, traditionalist, and violent, as all locals are. She is a cold-hearted darling of the court with a mark of privilege and an aura of innocence.
That's just a really good elevator pitch.
Yep,
Mhm.
that is the character. I couldn't have murdered this person. I'm too nice. She's the prince's she is a prince's disfavored daughter from the next county over, and her circles include one Timothy Cardsquallop, whom I'm trying not to harm, though I did encourage his brother to murder himself.
And you insinuated to another Cardswallop that you would betray Timothy and go work for.
Right, but Timothy's just so is it guileless where that you don't have guile and you're like very on the table? Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I have knowledge of Reach, the loyal sharpshooter, and Kenan Smith, who represents the gang of ruffians, ne'er-do-wells, and other street toughs who was ruining my house, but sacking businesses for Adam.
I also want to point out that there's a distinction between being guileless and getting the guile dis, which is someone telling you to go home and be a family man.
Right. That's good. I like it. I'd give that a sonic boom.
I have no shame.
No.
And now let's move to definitely the least ridiculous character in this cast.
Almost certainly. Almost certainly. Hello, I am Zach. You see me around sometimes. He, him pronouns. I am playing Indiso de la Vino. Indiso of the Vine. And I'm messing with my beliefs a little bit, so this is probably just terrible. But the old god Pacoon favors this grapery. I will complete the construction on the sanctum. That is the same. That one's been around.
Mm-hmm.
We're still working on the sanctum.
Yep.
Belief number 2 has changed. I am building a great future for the grapery. I will solidify our relationship with the money class who can support this endeavor. Because last time I got an in with the elf lady.
Wood Sorrow.
Yeah.
And also she, lured you into a social faux pas.
Yeah, like she totally punked me. But I also sold some wine,
Mm-hmm.
and she really liked the wine. So, and then my belief number 3 is Hakoon, the ancient patron deity of this grapery, is suffering. I will find a way to cleanse a god with fire.
Oh, hey, it's Mike's other camera.
Hello, VR headset.
Hello, dog. Let me quickly change. There we go.
Dog.
That's
like full on snoot.
Yep. Booped some snoot. The dog's being unusually. Oh god, why is that left so large? Unusually cuddly. So, this is the underdesk cam. I can't see if you can actually tell.
There is no light source under there.
Oh, right there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to the Duke. Hey, Duke.
Oh, what a good duke. Hey,
okay,
Andy's in chat. Hi, Andy.
Nice. Hi, Andy.
Hello. My Dukes.
My instincts are I will always accept a drink if offered and produce one if none is. I will look for the signs of Pacoon in it. And I'm always working on the next vintage.
Okay.
I figure we can just I've always got the next one in process, one way or the other.
Sure. I mean, so distracted by the dog, and I'm not even upset about it. It's a very, very pleasant distraction. I mean, that just makes sense as a thing where we've sort of stated before, you're kind of like the producer or director, and the rest of it kind of feels to me like the rest of your staff are like a production crew. They manage a lot of the day-to-day, and yeah.
And they honestly have a better sense of the nuts and bolts of the operation than I do in a lot of very concrete ways.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just sort of running in the background while I'm having these weird Pacoon adventures.
Well, but there's also something that you do that makes the wine better. There is some part of the process, there is some lever you flip or dial you twist or something that just makes it all work together.
I'm clearly a genius. New belief, I am clearly a genius.
Instinct.
Can I give myself a fourth belief, but it's faith?
Yes,
faith
that's
clearly Yes.
I think it's one of the
There's
one
a
of the
trade,
traits
yeah.
or one of the jobs is just like, yeah, you have to have a fourth fate, and it has to be faith based.
But that faith is in me because I am no gods, no masters, only in these. Right.
Hello, Mike. Somehow that's
What
just
is
like a
even happening
weirder
over
shot than like. I think it's the two cameras blowing
like, are you-
everything like.
Are you a bassist in a '90s music video?
Yes.
'Cause that's what that looked like to me.
That's
Like, just all
Like-
flea all the time.
The correct resolution and everything.
yeah.
Like,
Well, an expression and hey, summer.
and like the fisheye thing, like the moving fisheye shot.
Yeah.
God, I messed up everything doing this.
We have only the best production values here on that D&D podcast.
I mean, we just had like a solid 2 minutes of dog. I think
true.
Twitch will be emailing us partner status any day now.
Momentarily. We understand you had a dog on stream?
For upwards of 120 seconds.
How often can you guarantee the existence of this dog in the background of your show?
This particular dog, I have no idea. She's like 14 years old.
No.
Good doggo.
Good dog. Gonna be around forever.
They're good dogs, Brent. And now we shall stop having the dogs and resume being horrible people.
I'm not a horrible person.
But you're bringing about the rot gods to destroy us all.
I am not. I am attempting to cleanse the rot from the god.
I know how this ends. Zach.
I am the only one here being actively good, actually.
Says the man who had to be brainwashed by a witch in order to not be mean to the elder people.
Not mean. Disrespectful. There's a difference.
I like that we did get to a magical attitude adjustment in like 2 days. Like two
Like,
sessions.
almost instantly.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah. And I will point out that Andrew is still playing the character that does the mind whammies.
I mean, I'm playing most characters.
yeah. I feel like that's a little bit unfair, although totally on brand, but like a little unfair when it's like, Andrew's playing everyone that we're not playing, so yes. If mind whammies exist, Andrew's in on that.
Well, and like the characters who are trying to get in the way of your abilities to do the shit you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, have a true name.
Yeah, I got to figure that out.
I'm so pleased with that. Like, ugh. I try not to get high on my own supply too much, but I do it way too often.
It was ridiculously smart.
I figured that was a thing that your character would care about rather deeply.
Yeah.
Even though, like you hate your family. It seems like pretty strongly, but you have a very complicated relationship with your family.
I mean, I think this is good reason of like why I clearly hate my family.
Mm-hmm.
They're jerks. Although, to be fair, you're like building up a buffer of names, just in case. Like a protective shield.
I don't know that that's canon, but awesome.
They're also gonna just take the Defabry part,
And I'll lose my lord.
and it'll probably also be the lady bit. So you'll just be Margareta. Like, probably, like, fuck, what if that's, like, where different last names come from or something? Like, you would be Margareta Mockingbird.
Oh, interesting,
Instead of,
yeah.
like, Margareta Defabry or whatever. You like, this just, like, cuts you free from this family tree and just, like, your branch falls to the ground and maybe somehow takes root because this metaphor is being strained. I don't
The
know.
good news is this branch is already like 2/3 of the way to bandit queenery.
Right.
So
I gotta find the bandit queen life path.
I mean, so here's the thing, though. We're in play now, which means you don't have life paths. You just do the thing.
you just open every skill in the book, Mike.
It's why there's no king life path.
Well, good news. I'm pretty well on that path.
It's why there's no king life path, because if you want to be king, you do it in play.
So it looks like soothing platitudes, persuasion, maybe persuasion, possibly intimidation. But like, I'm gonna have to figure out how to counteract this.
Oh, right.
Which
This
right?
is your being learned skill section.
Yeah.
Yes, your being learned
it's
skill
longer
section
than
is
my
actually bigger than
non-skills.
your
It's
known
not.
skills.
I scrolled down to skills and it was like, yeah, you're learning these. No, wait, you're learning these ones. Okay.
Yeah, no. It turns out that you know a magical, wizened old woman that lives in the woods. So
Yeah. I'm gonna pay her a visit.
Does anyone have a scene they want to get us started off with?
we got people dealing with stuff. So I think Indisa's fine taking a step back.
Okay.
A little bit here.
Margareta or Magnus?
I mean, I absolutely have to go talk to people. Right?
Sure. Who are you talking to?
The witch, right? The only person that I know that does magic.
I really like the idea that like we get a scene of you like finally climbing your way up to this mountain where this witch lives, and it's abandoned because she's not there right now.
Right, because she's at the grapery.
And I don't know that you know that.
Right. That's okay, but because I was a scout in a previous life and I have tracking,
You do.
I have no points in it because I was a very bad scout in a previous life.
They technically taught me how, but
I skipped that day of scout school.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. Did you know that I was a duchess where I'm from?
Yes, that is largely how I skated by on my fancy dueling scar. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna start by figuring out where the fuck the witch went.
I mean, alternatively, you went to talk to Indiso first, and then
I mean, maybe I went to Dr. Diesel first to get a gift for the witch to butter her up.
right.
It's true. She does like booze.
And
Yeah.
Indiso's your path to the witch, anyways.
Yeah. So, Indiso, buddy, I've got a problem, and I need a favor.
Also, two things, Margareta, that you've noticed upon like heading out of town. One, like a lot of roads just seem like not especially well maintained. Two, there's like obvious signs of bandit activity along the roads.
Yeah.
No one. You look too poor and too well armed to bother fucking with.
You're in the sweet spot.
I am walking.
Sure. You don't look like you're carrying a sword and pistol. Is
And
my
that's it.
is my guess?
Yeah.
They don't want anything to do with that. You also look poor as shit and you aren't trailing a cart or anything.
Yeah.
Like
Because I'm kind of poor as shit.
right. You look like someone with B2 resources.
Dude,
I also like that that's all it takes to get Magnus to laugh. B2 resources, pshaw.
I've blown more resources than that trying to make a roll that I failed.
I mean, I actually have done that though.
That
Like
was
literally,
a callback.
Yeah.
Okay. So I show up at Magnus's place after
Indiso's place?
yeah, Andusa's place.
This isn't technically Magnus's place yet.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's like I understand the vineyard is going through some changes.
I don't know, vineyard?
Winery?
What?
It's a vineyard,
Your place?
Zach.
Okay. The grapery is undergoing some changes. There's
All right, the
process.
third tusk. Yeah. Yeah, so it's going through some renovations and stuff, right?
The
Like you're
third,
getting-
the third tusk is a huge mess. A huge mess. The two tusk graperies is chugging along somewhat inefficiently, but
There's some broken windows. There's some general disrepair. Everyone working looks a little tired and run down. I imagine Indiso looks more than a little run down because the last time we saw him, it was like midnight and he was putting together a conspiracy corkboard of notebooks, basically.
yeah, and Diso looks like he's got like the robe, right? Like the robe of leisure. He's got hair that's going everywhere. He's wild eyed when you see him. He's running to and fro. directing construction and or planting and or all of these things to try to get that done before he gets back to his studies, because this is the most important thing he's ever done.
Hi.
Oh, hello, Lady Margarita.
Margareta, you remember, because remember when we, there's no one within, is there anyone within earshot?
I'm sure there is, but they're pretending not to hear.
Right. So I was like, remember when we Ildke that Urson Fey? You know my name.
Smart. The orcs don't speak Big Latin.
Which is ironic.
Yes, I do. I do remember that. Could you? Why are you here?
It's not that I need money, but I do need a.
Good.
I'm looking for the witch, and I need a gift because I need to make the witch. I need to ask, I believe, is what you do for. Yes, I need to ask the witch very nicely that you do me a favor, and thus I need some bribe thing, gift.
Aha! You wish to petition the Wizened One for some reason or another.
Yeah, there's this wizard that's going to steal my name, and I'm going to, cast some sort of spell to stop that.
Wait. That sounds like a bad deal. Sounds like a bad deal. I regret to inform you that the Wizened One is unfortunately busy at this time and will not be able to take your call.
Indiso, I just want to, this is the first time Indiso has ever watched her sneak up behind anyone else.
Oh, is she sneaking up behind me?
Yes.
Do I have to roll numbers?
I mean, if you want to roll observation to detect her... previously, I've just had her, plot behind someone when comically appropriate. But if you want to detect her, then absolutely you can throw observation and, sniff her out.
Because
okay.
I believe I'm getting close to getting observation leveled, so...
Okay.
I was gonna say, would you like to fail to observe her to level up, Mike? Is that...
I would very much like to do so. I will not spend modification points on this spell roll.
Okay.
What is my ob?
That's a good question. This will be opposed. She's a sneaky witch. Your ob is 2.
No, that's not very sneaky.
I mean, 4 dice isn't bad. Okay.
Ugh.
Tie goes to the defender.
So, am I defending?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I very politely not point her out. And then, oh shit, can I use Soothing Platitudes to be like, oh my, I didn't see you there?
Soothing Platitudes would be, more buttering her up. You've detected her, so if you want to just start saying really nice things about the witch, absolutely you can roll Soothing Platitudes.
But saying them to Indiso, right? So,
right.
That is tragic. I don't know how I will continue on this path. She was the only person that had the power that I needed. The only person I knew to petition who could do such a feat of strength and really bravery and all of these things. Alas, alack, I am slain. Nothing can stop me now.
Blood.
That's right. Don't stop me now.
Wizened One.
Well, and let's see the roll, because I think you've tried to butter her up previously, and she was just like, "Oh, honey, you'll put out your back trying to kiss my ass or something."
Yeah. That's why I opened Soothing Platitudes.
No, you opened Soothing Platitudes telling the dying bride she'd be okay.
That was right. That was great.
And then you use it. Yeah.
I was 6 for this or something, right? 4.
Yes. 6, and then it'll double. So good luck.
6 and then it doubles?
12. Yeah, because it's her.
It's because you're learning it.
It's gonna be her will.
Wow.
And beginner's luck is against twice your normal ob.
Wow, you rolled super well too.
That was pretty good. Would you like to spend a fate point, Michael?
Yeah.
So I could get possibly 7 out of 12?
Well, no, they keep exploding.
They keep going, Mike.
But you know what? No.
Okay.
I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
So, yeah. Roll. Was it 3d6?
3d6 single bang.
Oh my.
Oh god.
Well, on the bright side, you got all those ones out, and that's definitely how dice work.
Nailed it.
Right. On the bright side, I get to mark soothing platitudes, which is now I need 6.
Yep.
Wait, do I need 4 or 6?
You need 2 more. Because the number in the circle is how many rolls you have to make. And the number next to it is what you will have it opened as when you're done opening it.
Okay.
Or learning
This is
it.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly how you open Witch Relations.
She's... I think, yeah. She's like, why is... She's going to say something about you being a sycophant. Probably like, yeah. Oh, keep going. Like to Indisa, like, oh, let her keep going. Like, I think she's just about hit. Like, she's just about to describe my good looks, I think, or something like that, right? Like, she's just like,
Aha, the wizard one. But this is clearly a waste of everyone's time. We must be working day and night to unlock the secrets of Cocoon and save the grapery and the old one.
And I assume she's like tottered over so she can like sort of join the circle.
Oh, and at this point, Indisa would realize that he was breaking protocol and would produce a bottle of wine from seemingly nowhere. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have. Would you like some, Lady Margarita?
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Excellent. I'll pull out a glass of some descriptor and pour, and then hand it to you and offer it to the old woman as well.
Yeah, and she like has a glass, downs it, and then extends the arm. And like, I imagine she's like 3.5 foot tall, sort of thing. Like, so like the arm doesn't go very far.
Yeah, so I'll fill her glass and then sort of look between the two of them and then begin draining the bottle directly.
I think she probably wants. I think she thinks Margareta might be useful.
Here's hoping.
So yeah. Now she's child, and that's what she's been calling you for some time lately, Indiso. Is child. We've made no progress in the last 3 days. Continuing to bash our skulls against that wall is unlikely to cause it to yield anytime soon.
But how
if we
clear is that in the writings of Takun, though?
If we come to this with fresh eyes, there is a chance. And this distraction and like gestures at Margareta, this distraction is as good as any.
Surprise.
I'm formulating how to poison you in my head.
Well, the good news is that you'll have to get me to poison myself, and I will not be so lucky.
Fine. Continue with your plotting.
So, and like puts on like the shittiest, most sarcastic, my lady. What is the trouble you are having at present?
Some court wizard is trying to strip me of my true name because I am too much of a bother for my horrible family, which I'm murdering my way back into the graces of.
And she like halfway through, she's just like, stop. Like, oh god, I don't care. I'm not your therapist.
And I really feel bad about this, which is weird because I don't feel bad about anything.
I also like that you're just airing this dirty laundry like out.
Yeah, you're just throwing like home court secrets.
I love it.
Yeah, fuck these guys.
And she's altering a true name is, I mean, they would need you to be there. Can you simply not return to them?
I mean, that was my first plan, but my stupid, sexy brother is super insistent. And I, frankly, one of these days, I'm going to get clubbed over the head, or like the wizard's going to show up at my house and like punch me and put his thumb against my forehead, and I'm going to lose all my powers. So, like, I need to figure out either how to protect myself, or is there like a limited number of wizards? Can I just, like, would killing them be a bad idea?
Poison is always an option.
Right.
Just throw that out there. Worked
I
for
think
the
Cousin was
last
really good
time.
at a long rifle, but
This wizard, do you know their name?
I don't believe I took notes.
It's Broadcloak.
Broadcloak, Martin Broadcloak, right? Yeah, the walking Broadcloak. Yeah,
She
of the Randall Broadcloaks.
she like blanches a little bit when you say Broadcloak, and she's like, "Whoa, that's he is duty bound, let's say." And like the D&D terminology for this is like a lawful neutral wizard. And like heavy on the lawful. I can't do anything to stop it per se, but and like so you've seen this look on her face before, and it means something clever, dangerous, and ultimately probably stupid. Like, you know that intersection of very clever and very stupid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very ambitious. It's very Black Mage in Magic the Gathering. I'll get this effect, damn the consequences.
She lives in a mountain swamp.
Yeah, and she looks at you and she's... Child, have you heard... Or, my lady, have you ever heard of the rot?
Probably.
That
In
was...
military school.
Yeah, like that was a thing that like was known in universe, right?
Yeah. But like, it's not something that she'd be terribly like
One like
focused on or worried about. Like,
it's known without being understood.
Yeah.
like occasionally the military has to go fight it, and it really like doesn't like fire.
Yeah. We need a sample of it to protect you. If protection is a thing that you must have.
Huh.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's not dangerous. In fact, it's probably it is probably a cure worse than the disease.
Yeah, but like, sure. But like, it'll screw over my brother, right? Can I use this to screw over my brother?
She's my lady. From what I know of the DeFabris, you can screw each other over in ways more plentiful than even I can imagine.
All right, yeah. So I'll get some rod. I'll use that to protect myself, and then like, maybe I'll release it.
No,
my father's court.
That's a worse idea. No, this is to keep scrying eyes away.
Okay.
If they can't find you, they can't take you, and if they can't take you, then you cannot.
Lose my name. All right. So where do I find some rod?
And she like does the like come into the sanctum that Andisa's put together.
The dance puppet.
Hey, now you've got a co-conspirator.
It's true. I was actually going to say, like, does this Broadcloak person, do they drink wine? Can we like send them a bottle of wine that's like super poison?
Super poison.
Just like you hand like one of the tusks. Actually, I imagine you make like 12 bottles of triple poison wine, and like just hand each of the like tie them to a tusk, and just shoo the goats out, and like hopefully one of them gets there.
Just despite the scattering of the tusks,
Right.
Like 11 random people die, and then like the one.
It's the Mass Effect 2.2 kilo slug. Feel the weight.
Exactly.
Someone somewhere's gonna have a real bad day.
But it's gonna be attached to really good wine,
Yeah.
so they'll die happy. It'll be fun.
So yeah, you need to find some rot to get. There's gonna be some like thing to bind the rot to like kind of neutralize it, and then that'll just render probably like a little necklace or whatever, because that seems like D&D, and it just renders the wearer invisible to scrying, basically.
Okay.
I like the idea that like wearing it changes some tiny ineffable part of you to the point where they just can't find you anymore.
Yeah, well, like it like destroys the magic in some sense, right? Like it's
Like they're still scrying. Like they're like you changed your magical phone number, and they can't like dial in.
Well, yeah, they get like the tower you're at, but they can't get the perfect resolution.
That is great. Okay. All right. So Quest changed my phone number. Done.
Yeah, block all. New rot talisman. Who dis?
So yeah, I mean, like alcohol is the universal solvent, right? Plus, it's already soaking in something that you can incinerate it using if necessary. So I feel like we need to find you a tiny vial and some rot and fill it up with alcohol to preserve it.
Some grappa.
Yeah, it was exactly like the highest proof stuff I can produce, right? Like whatever the Ashen Kingdom's version of Everclear is, where you put it in this vial. It's like straight up grain alcohol, like highest proof possible. Distill it way down with some rot floating in it, and you can just wear that as a necklace.
Okay. Yeah. And I'll save some for myself to fuck with my brother.
Oh yeah, your brother. Is that a situation that we should be looking at? Like,
Oh, totally.
okay.
Yeah. If
We
there was
should
anyone
talk.
I wanted to... Yeah. Not like we're not going to bother the wizened one.
No. We can handle that one on our own. The rod thing is in her on her court, but this is like us. We got this. We've already assassinated the head of state at this point.
Yeah, totally.
We're
And I'm-
open
And,
hands.
and she and Moose are standing like inside, like you're in the sanctum, and she and Moose are just standing there, just witnessing this conversation play out.
Well, we're having it in pig Latin, so they can't understand.
Oink, oink, oink. All right, we should do a scene with Magnus, though. 'Cause we're set, right?
I think we got a plan of action. Like if I was making a television show, I would definitely cut here and go straight to the stupidity later.
Meanwhile,
That's right.
back on the ranch.
Meanwhile, you're going right to the stupidity right now.
Oh,
Nice. I like that you
Oh-ho.
can already.
So I think there's probably a time lapse of our, I don't know, after Magnus's party, he has something of a, I'm not gonna say a breakdown, but he gets more and more frustrated with his current efforts to get the nobility to recognize the threat that money can present to the kingdom. He just thinks that they're being lazy and useless, and they're clearly not seeing the danger that's in front of their own faces. And maybe if there's some sort of demonstration that would show them how easily they could be brought to ruin with just some shrewd business sense, and maybe he's going to be the one that's going to have to do this.
I love this heel turn.
This is going to ruin Magnus in a sense here, because I have a feeling I'm going to do terrible with this roll. But
can we be clear? Can we be clear about the heel turn concept? However,
well, no. This is Magnus going from like a villain to a heel.
Okay. All right. I'll buy that.
There is mustache twirling and ranting at the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like it's not at the camera. Like we think it's at the camera, and then like it pulls back slightly, and Vigo's just there, like terrified.
Vigo's just there, like halfway through a sandwich.
He's just got like the little espresso cup, and it's just shaking in his hand.
So
it was supposed to be a nice breakfast, but now it's ruined.
So yeah, I think. I mean, real quick, I'm just gonna make some cash.
Sure.
Then do that
as you do.
Just fabricate some capital.
Yeah.
Gotta have cash to make cash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There you go.
God, if that's any herald on my next roll, then I'm gonna be dead broke real soon here. Okay, so because I can't advance resources without those challenging checks, and I have no idea that I have to make. I have no idea how to ever do this, so I'm just gonna basically go for broke.
I get it.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't mean. And I have no idea how to do things like get deed points, so I'm not going to even wait for that safety net.
So
can I talk? You're headed for them at this point, friends. Like
okay.
These points are like, okay, that was messed up and awesome, and I never would have expected you to be able to do that. So here's a deeds point.
Deeds point,
okay.
Like you saying, like I tried to buy my way in, and they shut me down, and like my elf underling totally undermined me. Fuck all of them. I'm going to show them the damage capitalism can do rather than the good it can do. Like that's cruising for a deeds point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I'm mechanically doing is I'm going to be creating a 6-point fund.
Wow.
I'm not going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try.
Right.
That's
yeah.
What in game is what I'm doing is I'm basically I can't remember the Vigo's pompous uncle
Lord Grano.
I'm basically doing my best to bankrupt him by buying out or by undercutting his businesses and basically starting up a competition, undercutting him, denying him access to the market, basically ruining his family's source of income, which I think was like grain or something. I can't.
It was staple crops. Yeah, it was
staple crops. Yeah,
corn, wheat, rice, sort of thing. Whatever the staple crop of the region is.
Shorting them on markets or doing whatever people do to destroy people's businesses.
Yeah, you're taking a bunch of stuff, selling it at a loss to drive them out of business, and then like if this succeeds, what you get to do is like have seized control of the market and jacked up your prices again.
And think of the gloating.
And like I imagine that this is like a couple weeks on. Like this is like this resource roll like occupies some amount of time, right? Like
it's not a fast and dirty thing. It's definitely a calculated journey. So yeah, I can only spend 1 persona point, right? To get an extra dice. Oh, max 3D. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'm only spending 2 then because I don't have the third one.
Quick, do something persona worthy.
I mean, end of session.
Yeah, it's end of session. So, okay.
Yeah.
So, the OB in this one is OB 13.
Good God.
What are you rolling against 13?
I'll be rolling effectively a 14.
With the 2 personae.
Yes,
okay.
I have a base. No, not with. Mine is a 12 with a 2 persona to bring it to 14.
Yeah.
So that's.
Do you?
Yes, it's still a challenging.
That's with resources already, like your
That's going to be
Your-
everything I have. So
everything
yeah,
for
so
that.
7
Nice.
resource, 2 cash, 2 fund, and my affinity for business.
I'm
Right.
so curious to see this now.
Let's do this thing.
That's
Okay,
2
so that's
personae
7.
sunk.
Like I kind of want like, can we pre-clip this for the stream?
It's okay. I mean, I've seen rolls go both way for Magnus,
Mhm.
where there was plenty of 6s and when there was plenty of 1s. So
Mhm.
You only need you can
all
do
of them
this.
to be.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. I believe in you.
Also, like, what happens if Magnus suddenly has control of the grain?
Everything changes, right? Like literally everything changes tonight. And suddenly, the entire town is thrown to chaos. People starve unless they bend knee to Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Just the gloating. Yeah. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here goes everything because this could tank resources Magnus's
Make you
main.
desperate and awesome. It's gonna be
Mhm.
great.
Yeah,
Whatever
no,
happens, it's gonna be awesome.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Oh
And no
god.
6s.
Oh no!
That
God.
is brutal.
Oh no! That's 7 tax.
Yeah. Basically, so my resource goes to 0.
So your cash is
Well,
gone.
You got
No,
funds for absorbing that too, right?
Yeah. So I have 2 fund, which goes away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that takes away 2 tax, I believe. Yes.
So I have
Yeah.
5 tax, basically.
Oh no!
So yeah, I kind of tank that one.
And
Swing big.
like Vigo and Eladrian are both like we get like scenes of them. Probably just like Maestro, like you need not to do this. This is folly. Like stop, please stop. And like Eladrian starts out like what is he doing? And by the end, she's like, I'm working for a madman, sort of thing. Like, yeah. What's the time lapse of Magnus look like over this like 2-week period?
I mean, it's not good. He's probably drinking heavily. I imagine. I mean, there's bill collectors coming, taking away part of his empire effectively.
Yeah. Well, and like you still own all this stuff. So here's how I'm gonna flavor this.
Okay.
Is Eladrian like, oh no, I'm working for a madman, and she starts just like she is providing a bunch of the capital you're using and taking chunks of your business. So you owe her this money. It's not like the state or
Okay.
like Vigo is probably in for a bit as well because he like legitimately believes in you. And his uncle is going to like have words with him for that.
Oh, poor Vigo.
I kind of love him as a whipping boy.
Alas, poor Vigo. I knew him.
But yeah, like Eladrian has effectively like taken monetarily a controlling interest in Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. It's like somebody bought Wayne Enterprises out from under you. Like,
Yeah. Well, and I think like it started out. I think actually it's what is he doing? Oh no, I'm working for a madman is like the middle step, and then the next one is like, and I can profit from this.
mm-hmm.
And so we get a couple scenes where she's just like, no, I'm any day now. Like, I believe in you, Maestro. Like, any day now, this will turn a corner and we'll make so much money back on that corn. Like, you should go a little further.
Yeah.
I also just want to point out right now, you're mechanically still as rich. Actually, richer than Margareta because you have access to funds.
Yeah.
You have 5 tax and you're as rich as Margareta or Indiso.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, Eladrian is effectively doing like a fairly subtle takeover from the inside.
Sure. Makes sense.
Like her long game just became a very short game.
Yeah. Yeah, she is like, what the fuck do I do now? like, I like.
Start changing locks at this point.
And like, yeah, to like the Merchants Guild headquarters, right? Like, okay, he just needs a little more push, and then like someone else will bring up that I don't know that he's fit to lead. Holy shit, that was huge and cool.
And ruinous.
Yeah, ruin has come.
You're gonna have to poison your way back to the top.
So I will be honest. I really have no idea what to do with Magnus anymore, and
Okay.
that was my last stitch.
Sure.
Like, let's do something interesting with the character.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly have no ideas.
So-
and yeah.
So I mean, like, I can start doing stuff to you to like propel that. Like, I mean, we can even say like Eladrian does change a lock. Like maybe that's the next scene we get. Or your mercenary friend comes by and like, hey, I've got some information to sell you. And you're just like, great, fuck off, I have no money. I mean, I feel like Magnus, like at the bottom of the barrel, is a thing that we could explore. But I mean,
Just waiting for him to go Batman.
No. I mean, I'm fine. Just seeing what shakes out now. I'm just saying personally, I couldn't come up with another scene. Like,
Okay.
I don't have any
Sure.
ideas of what Magnus would do next.
so I mean, like, what would Magnus do? Like going into his office one day and the lock is changed.
Yeah, I don't even.
Okay.
It's not like Magnus has much of a personality beyond buying shit, and that's extremely neutered right now.
Okay.
So it's either Magnus recedes into, doing a job to, work his way out of debt,
Yeah.
or I do some other stupid roles with stats that or skills that I haven't really.
I mean, yeah, you try the door, the lock doesn't work. I think the mercenary friend of yours is waiting there, and she's like, "That's a bit awkward." And then like, what is it that like an illegal group could get you to? Oh. And so, hey, boss, got someone who wants to talk to you.
I'm all ears.
And I think you get brought into the palace. Lord Grano is... I don't think he's there, but like his presence is indicated somehow. Like there's a letter from him open on someone's desk or something. And it's going to be like one of the people from Upper Argent is basically just like gonna say, wow, you fucked up. You're a man of prodigious talents. Why don't you work for the winning team?
The winning team being the nobles or someone in the noble court?
Upper Argent, yeah.
Being Upper Argent.
Oh, Upper Argent. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have connections with Lord Grano. He's a good and close friend of the court. We can make... And like they pause and they stop and they... your partner, Ms. Woodsorrow, owns much of Magnus Enterprises or the Luciano Emporium at this point, but we can make you whole again. We would ask a few things in return. Don't feel like you need to answer now.
Yeah, I don't. I think Magnus is. Oof, it's not that he's tempted to take the offer. He's just doesn't want to get stabbed in the court
Okay.
where he has no power. Yeah, I don't know who's there in the room with him right now.
I imagine this is probably the Cartswallop we met last time, the one who actually has some amount of guile.
Okay.
You don't even need to align with us particularly closely, Mr. Luciano. We just need to know what happened. We just need to happen. I didn't give her a name. I thought I gave her a name. Treno's the last name. To the late to the late Lady Treno.
Oh, that was the
yeah. And I think at this point, like, this is because I imagine Magnus is fairly shell-shocked at all this. This is the first time you notice that your brother's in the room, and there's just like a hand on your shoulder, and he's just, it's okay.
Isn't he's there
to like to reassure you.
Mm-hmm.
I think okay, so it's clear to me that you haven't been paying attention at all to what's happening in this town. And if you think that I would ever do anything for Lord Garano and Upper Argent, no matter what setback I face in this town, then no, I lost my train of thought. Then you clearly are more than a fool that I heard.
Again, don't feel like you need to answer now. And then, like, motions to your brother and just, like, see your brother safely home, would you?
I will turn and leave.
Yeah, your brother's going to follow. He's been given an order. We hadn't seen him yet, and I was like, oh shit, he fits perfectly into this scene.
Yeah.
With, like, his leather gloved hand just popping up on your shoulder and...
It's probably not going to stab you. No way, no.
I mean, he's... I don't know that outside of the DeFabris family murders family too much.
Oh.
A proud exception.
Yeah, so we need to get to poisoning, clearly. Just poisons. All the poisons.
Okay, yeah. And, I mean, you get home with a further event.
Okay.
God, God. So Zach or Indiso or Margareta have a scene you would like to prosecute for?
Margareta just had a scene, so
Okay.
she's happy to co-star in one of Indiso's, if that would be the case.
Well, I feel like going off and finding the rot, like the old lady told the old lady said that we might as well take a break. We're not making any progress. I need to learn more about these things. And Indiso is a tactile learner. So let's go get hands on.
See what it tastes like.
Exactly. I'm an olfactory learner. Yeah.
Taste tile, is that what happens?
Taste tile.
I'm imagining, like in a different life, Indiso might have been an archaeologist to like tell bone from rock. You lick it to see if it sticks to your tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh.
So yeah, I imagine like in the intervening time, we've gotten some idea from the old lady or from Moose or somebody in the semi-mystical know where to go looking for actual rot, because I know there's like mushrooms and things down in the sanctum. We need to go find actual rot. Where to find it, how to harvest it, and then we should be like buddy copping our way that direction.
The harvesting it, you're given very, very, very strong instructions not to breathe in anything orange.
Okay.
And if you do happen to breathe in anything orange, you should probably just set yourself on fire.
Okay.
Like,
awesome.
Yeah, it'll be kinder that way.
You're wearing a full face scarf this entire time, but it's stained red right here.
The wine.
Still
Good.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're on a cart being pulled by several tusks.
It's
going somewhere.
I mean, I think you've been aware of like the third tusk has. There's been a few things going on at the third tusk over this 2-week span. You damaged its ability to produce wine. Claudia's come back a couple times and been like, I had to chase some people away.
Okay.
And like each time they are getting more numerous and possibly bolder.
Okay. Awesome.
And yeah, like the last time she's like, I just noped out of there. Like there were scary people and basically bandits have taken over the third tusk.
Great.
And there's signs of some rot there.
Awesome.
Oh, perfect.
Don't you have like a mercenary company or something?
Yeah. Something.
I feel like our needs are meshing.
Yeah. Really, this is some serious synergistic shit going on.
Yeah. So we should mount up everybody up or walk them down. I don't know what your mercenaries read. And we'll go take this back from the bandits, who are definitely not rot zombies yet. So, knowing what I know about the rot and fire and such, I will bring multiple large jugs of grain alcohol and torches and tinder and things.
Good news, grain is very cheap right now.
It really is. Somebody flooded the market. Yeah, I've been having I had Quail instruct the workers to like push through a bunch of like really high proof distillation of grain alcohol, so we have something to burn. And it's just like us on a cart with barrels of explosive liquid and fire, and surrounded by this erstwhile mercenary thug band. Let's go reclaim the third tusk.
Can I open Rotwise?
Sure. What would you like to declare true or find out about the rot?
No, I want to figure out how we could be better prepared for this.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing you're trying to find out.
I can't remember what the wises are. They seem to be perception.
They are
as I'm
perception based.
Noble wise and revolutionary wise.
They are universally perception.
Trying to see if I can find specific wises obs. Because I feel like that's a thing that should exist somewhere.
I think we've had this conversation a couple of times.
Yeah, I'll go to the generic stuff at the start.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of it in the codex, but it's like there's like here's a 1 and 2 and here's an 8.
I think this is probably like a 3, an ob 3 rotwise check.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
Which will double.
Sure, but like, I'm new to it.
Alternatively, you can, instead of marking it as a rotwise test, you can mark it as a perception test. And possibly just get smarter.
Oh, okay.
Because that would still be 5 on... Well, I think it's 5 on 3. But it might be 5 on 6.
I think it's on.
It is on 6, actually.
Is it on 6?
I think so. Because you roll the rotwise. Essentially.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you can apply it instead. So if you... Basically, this just like means you don't get the rotwise experience.
But you do get perception experiences.
Yeah. Which might be more valuable.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Okay.
So in the difficulty, base up is 3?
Yeah.
2 with no... Oh, there's a 6. So I'll go ahead and...
So the
spin
ob
fate
is
through.
double. It is 6.
Yeah, bearing in mind. The
Oh,
odds actually
so-
6.
Okay. So it's not routine. It's
No.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever the highest one is.
Might actually be challenging.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
Then I will mark challenging.
There you go. That's useful.
Yeah, that's useful.
Yeah. You know a few things about rot creatures from like your military tactics, and one of the things is that like it takes a very, very precise shot to stun or disable or destroy a rot creature. Much better to hack it to pieces.
Right.
And Zach and Adam get how I've just screwed you.
By the way, I have no weapons. I've never had any weapons other than a bottle of wine and a glass and a torch.
Foul language.
I mean, you have Molotov cocktails, don't you?
I have explosives. I have explosives that I have no skill in, but I have them. Fire bombs is a combat skill.
How are you rolling dice of fate?
I'm great at it actually,
Okay.
as it turns out. So it's fine.
Cool. So yeah, it takes an incredibly precise shot, and therefore the best thing to do is get in close and hack them to pieces. It's a lot easier to cut off a head than shoot off a head.
And like, it's not going to be great if I bring along the crew.
Why?
There's rot. Because they're just going to get infected. I mean, I'm bringing them along anyway, but...
I feel like that's like price of showing up, right? Like, are you going to
Sure,
take all the
better
bandits by
than
yourself?
us.
Did I convince what's her name to come back with us?
Claudia,
Yeah.
she's pretty loyal to you.
All right. So it's you and Claudia fighting off a bunch of bandits with me shouting from the sidelines.
No. I'm going to bring the whole company.
Okay. Then what's the problem?
I think that we're going to have to kill them on the way out.
It'll be fine. I mean, blood blesses the soil for Raccoon, so...
Okay. Do they pay me back for I mean, I'll have to hit up Magnus for another mercenary company, but I'm sure that's fine.
He's
got-
good for it, yeah.
Magnus has the money,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
And I'm gonna burn down my own grapery. All of us are just like throwing our best stuff into the blender today. We're wood chipping away our fortunes. It's amazing.
Fortunes. Yes. Diso's fortune. Okay. But I mean, you're also marking valuable experience when it's not
No,
resources.
not always doing that.
Delicious experience.
Tasty,
Okay.
tasty experience.
Okay, so what do we see? What's the
Like, I guess the mercenary company is the vanguard for us, right? And despite knowing that it's going to take a perfect shot, like I'm running in the back of the cart with my pistol because I don't want to be anywhere near this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you want to be on the cart full of explosives.
Yeah,
Handling gunpowder.
she's genre wise, right? You don't want to stand next to the explosives in case the zombies get you.
Okay. You have genre savvy wise?
Yes.
I will be standing at the front of the cart with like a bottle with a rag in it and a torch. Occasionally taking drinks out of the bottle. With the tusks dragging us closer to the grapery.
So there's a few, like, there's some people here who are people. And, Margreta, there's a few people here who are, like, exhibiting the first few symptoms of rot fever.
Okay. And are they like small folk?
It's a mix. It's a bunch of people who ran out of money, were pushed to the margins, fled the city, found easy pickings and some food in here.
Lost their farm.
And lost
grain short.
No, this is a group of people who lost this vineyard during it being shorted.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair. Ahoy, good folk of the grapery. I say, like, waving a torch in the darkness.
What are you doing on my farm?
I know not of what you speak. This is A, mine, and B, not a farm. So perhaps we should come to terms.
So you're claiming that this is your grape farm.
Grapery, yes.
Correct me again. I dare you.
You should really use the full U.
And, like, one of the people next to him, like, stands up and, like, has some farm implement brandished in a manner meant to be intimidating.
Listen, good people of the surrounding area.
And, like, one of them coughs up a cloud of orange.
It is clear to me that some of you are in not great health and would probably fold like a cheap religious robe under the weight of our stout mercenaries. I sort of like gesture around. Leave this place now. Seek treatment. And you will probably be fine.
So, are you trying to persuade them, or are you lying to them?
I don't know anything about the rot or, like, recovery. I assume that, like, in non-magical sense, like, this is, like, the time, so sick people die. That just happens.
Treatment is very literally a bullet.
We have those.
Mm-hmm. Treatment is probably the name of one of the mercenaries in the gang, honestly.
They got a non-rifle gun named a vaccine.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not lying to them. Like, I'm being straight up. Like, if you want to leave, you can leave.
Okay.
This is ours. Mine. We're taking it back.
Sure.
We have business here. I don't particularly want to harm anyone. But these people, I'll sort of point at the assembled mercenaries.
Right.
They're slightly more violent than I typically am.
This does feel like persuasion. I almost said persuade, and that's not the persuasion. I think you've pissed this person off. You can absolutely help. What would you like to help with?
I would like to aim a pistol at this person's face.
Good.
That's helping up, right? But persuasion and intimidation.
So, I mean, what skill are you helping with? Are you helping with pistols?
I mean...
That's a thing you can help with. I'm not saying no.
To help with pistols, you actually shoot him.
Oh, firearms. My apologies.
You shoot the first one as an example.
Can't shoot all of us. Bang! Everybody else
slowly reload the pistol.
Yeah. You also don't have intimidation fully opened yet.
So you can't aid me with intimidation.
Yeah. But firearms is fair games.
You can aid me with the ugly truth that you have a gun and they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a bunch of things with which you can use to help. It's just intimidation is not on that list.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be... I will use firearms.
Okay.
Because
you don't have to roll anything. I think you still get experience, though.
Yeah, I think depending on... you get an experience based on what my roll looks like at the end, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'm getting 1 die from your firearms.
Mm-hmm.
What's my...
That's a very good question. I think this person has like a will of 4, but there's going to be some advantage dice attached to that.
A bunch of them.
For having, A, a number of them, and B, you pissed him off.
That's a good reason to get shot in the face.
I mean, it's a good reason not to be persuaded by someone.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think your ob is 6. 4 plus 1 for the crowd plus 1 for the... You were an asshole.
Yeah, well, listen. Check real quick here.
Mm-hmm.
60 against 6 difficulty is a difficult check.
Yep.
Is that helping out your firearm skill at all there?
I mean, mine's 4, so I think that's
challenging.
Yeah, I need one of them.
Okay, so it doesn't care what my... Okay.
I don't know, actually. I'll check. It might be the same test. Do you know what page that's on?
I'll
go to the index. You put together your dice pool. I'll check it.
I mean, I think that's it. I think I'm just taking his bonus against a 6 ob gives me 5 plus 1. I'm rolling 6 out of 6.
The level of the test is the same as if they had tested against the obstacle with their own ability.
Oh, nice.
So you get an ob 6 test out of this, Mike.
Awesome.
Is there anything I can... Haggle doesn't make a whole lot of sense because he's already angry.
Falsehood always works with persuasion, and you did lie, being like, you can get help, is a lie.
Sure, okay. I will fork that in. I'll grab 2, so I'm rolling 7 at 6.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to spend any personae?
Oh, no. God.
Nope, I would not.
Would you like to spend any fate? You have a 6.
Yeah, I can get to a 2, maybe a 3, maybe a... no, that just happened.
Okay.
That got real bad. Yeah.
The guy who coughed up orange, I think, like... And, like... One of the mercenaries is like, what the fuck is that? As, like, this person just horks up some
like a
organ.
sentient lung.
Yeah. And, like, it jumps. Like, it's yeah. It is an ambulatory, like... Yeah, it's an ambulatory, like, sentient, sapient, hungry, and hateful organ.
This is right on the thing, and I adore every part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will probably recoil because I can't imagine my steel stands up, like, at all.
Yeah, you definitely get a free steel test at the end of session. If you'd like to make one now, to just
sure.
panic for up to like 5 rounds of combat.
I would super not like to be responsible for what's about to go down, so do that.
Fuck. All right, what's your hesitation? And I think it's being modified, certainly.
My hesitation is 4.
Really?
It's just that's the number in the slot. I don't know.
Well, it's 10 minus your will, so yeah.
Yeah, my will is pretty good.
Jeez. Okay. Bump that up by 1 for the like supernatural entity, like chunk of this.
All right. So that's 5 ob.
Yeah.
Rolling 5 steel at 5 ob.
And we all need to roll this, right?
God.
Yeah, everyone rolls against their hesitation. Yeah, you don't fucking blink.
Like, yeah, that was weird. But did I tell you about this time I dreamed about a god that needed fire?
That's some shit that happens all the time to me. Actually, I'm gonna pour the alcohol, like just like on the ground on the thing, and I'm gonna light it with the torch. Be like, this is some shit that happens. Okay, let's all be calm about this right now.
I am not calm.
No. It's already open-ended, so you can spend a fate to re-roll one of your failures to get possibly up to 4.
And possibly more.
No, it doesn't re-roll itself.
Yeah, it's not open-ended, so you can't bump.
Yeah.
And I can't increase my steel, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I mean, eventually.
I think you just did if you haven't marked that test yet.
I have not marked that test yet.
You are up to 6 steel. Congratulations.
Nice.
I am not. 5v5 is difficult? It is.
Yep.
Wow, okay. Do.
Up to
Yeah,
6
so
steel.
now as you stand there drooling for 2 heartbeats, you're now slightly less likely to drool as long.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Indiso, however, is a badass.
Yeah. So you just fucking no-sell this lung that's leaping at someone.
Yeah, no, like maybe in the in the air, it's like.
So what do you do? Because you functionally have initiative here. I think everyone's fairly panicking.
I throw the bottle.
Great.
Not on fire yet. I throw the bottle of alcohol at one of the rot infested people.
Sure. I mean, at this point, they're all rot infested. It's just varying stages of it. But
yeah, no, my intent is like to soak one or more of them in alcohol, and then like threaten to light them on fire.
Okay. It's probably a stat that you're not good at.
I'm guessing it's throwing and probably agility is attack throwing it.
Yeah. So are you going to open up throwing, or would you like to just roll agility at this person?
I'm just gonna make an agility roll, I think.
Cool.
Let me check. Oops, sorry. Let me check real quick and make sure that throwing is agility. So I know it's a different skill because.
Or it might be agility and speed or something.
Yeah, that's what I want to make sure that's not like.
Thrown weapons 558. Throwing a bomb 471. I don't know if this book is granular enough. Use the throw object action. Great. However, since bombs are always awkward weapons, bombs always suffer a +1 ob penalty to hit.
Awesome. I love getting more skills. Throwing. Jesus, there's so many skills you get. Throwing, is agility only.
Okay, cool.
It forks into javelin.
Nice. That makes sense.
So yeah, I will roll an agility test.
Cool. I mean, you're gonna hit the person because they're stunned.
Okay.
But roll it anyways.
Alright, what's my...
I think it's ob 1. So you probably actually don't get a test here.
No! Fine. Boom.
Because it's 4 dice, yeah. Cool, yeah. You get them.
Alright, cool.
A human is soaked in... Like, the bottle shatters and the... Ah, fuck! Is like... You know, like, there's cuts from the glass, and then, like, there's, strong alcohol in the cuts, and...
I will not be risking being attacked by any more lungs this evening. So, I'll sort of wave the torch menacingly at them.
Mm-hmm.
They know where that came from. Believe me. And I'll pick up another bottle of alcohol.
Right. And like, just, you've got like, how many do you have? Also, I want to be clear, because this might be very relevant to someone rolls poorly. A, do we agree that there is a lot of kaboom on this cart?
Oh yeah, no, it's terrifying. It's terrifying amount of kaboom.
And
Like
B,
I'm sitting on dragster fuel right now.
and B, like, if this goes poorly, which is to say, like, a firebomb roll of a die of fate goes badly, like, the kaboom occurs.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And C, Margareta is also sitting on the cart with a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like the pistol's not gonna kick things off.
This
Sure.
is definitely not gonna like misfire and explode.
Sure. That's not a thing that we roll a die for. Okay.
No, that's definitely not a die that's specifically provided for in the game. There's not a 1 in 6 chance that we both die in a fiery explosion every time either of us try to do something like that.
Right. Okay.
Good. I'm glad we all agree.
Okay, cool.
You have
Yeah, no,
another
I-
heartbeat of action. So are you just telling people to back the fuck up?
No, I'm gonna soak someone else.
Okay. I
I'm
mean,
gonna-
do another roll. Do you want to
gonna make-
open throwing?
Sure, let's
Okay.
open throwing. Why
Good.
not?
I mean,
Why not?
hopefully
I could
you get a
use it on
chance to
skill.
put more dots into that after I take a shot.
Right. I mean, both of you have persona, right?
I do. I'm sitting on a. That was actually part of my mental. I'm actually sitting on a buttload of persona. This will be fun.
Yeah. It says
Yeah,
your
you have
mind's
3.
Hephaestus.
God damn it, Michael.
Okay, no modifiers.
+1. So like 0 + 1. And then it'll double, because
Okay.
so this is actually a harder roll.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Just wanted to make that clear. Got there.
Good chunk.
100% of the time works every time.
And
I
you
may
even
actually
had
be
a
using
6.
this throwing things thing.
Yeah.
You knew? Yeah. So, and then I wave the torch.
Yeah.
And you take one step towards me. I barbecue both of them. Both of them.
Okay. Margareta, what are you up to?
Oh, I
now
shoot
that you've
somebody.
like regained some composure.
Can I just say that I love that I'm currently fulfilling one of my instincts where I'll produce drinks if I'm not offered one.
Yeah.
I say as I'm like drinking out of a third bottle right now.
Going blind rapidly.
It only
It's
turns
the
you
only way to
blind
be
because
sure.
the benzol they put in there.
Okay.
Actual grain alcohol will not make you go blind.
Neat.
They put it in there during the war to keep the lab assistants from drinking the alcohol.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Margareta, what are you?
Why do we now know this?
I
Sorry.
learned it from a chemistry TA.
Trial and error.
All right, so I roll a d6 to make sure nothing explodes, right?
Yes. So
No,
you're
it's
taking
really-
a shot with your pistol.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
This is gonna be so good. Yeah, so there's a pistol die.
Yeah, it's the gunpowder die, which is 1d6. Don't
So do I
roll
need
a
to roll
1.
that, or is like a button I can press?
Just roll slash R 1d6.
Just
And do I want a
roll
1 or a
1d6 and
6?
You
don't
want
kill us both.
not a 1.
Not a 1.
Don't kill us both, Mike.
That's
Yes,
not a 1.
So that's twice a 1, Mike. That's twice as good as you needed to be. Excellent
Exactly.
job.
Well, that was exactly as good as I needed to be, and then
Nailed
not
it.
kill us all.
Nailed it.
I do like the fact that we have a 1 in, 15 chance?
It's about 16% chance.
Yeah.
You just blow up.
to have the gun explode. Probably just taking my hand. Depends how much of a little K big B it is.
Okay. So you fail to explode and kill everybody.
Yes. What's my ob for capping the nearest infected person?
Captain Mans.
I don't know that there's much of one, honestly.
Especially if they're all still drooling.
I think they're acting on the same initiative, is the thing. But you've got them at range, so which means
Is it optimal range? Optimal range is ob 2. I'm looking at page 406.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say it's a bloody versus, and then you
Oh,
just
that's
get
also good.
an advantage. I'm doing bloody versus because like figuring out fight right now is not a thing that I'm
10
overly
paces.
interested in doing.
Yeah.
The
So yeah,
optimal range is 2D.
Yeah, so we're doing a
Max range.
slightly different thing.
yeah. So you're gonna roll your
Wait,
skill
I
versus
can
their
throw
skill.
a weapon better than farther than I can pistol a weapon.
It's a pistol. It's probably not especially accurate.
Is it rifled?
This one is actually. We went over that last session,
All
and
right,
it's
so,
unfashionable that it is rifled.
Oof, that was a close-ish.
Deep dark secret.
Well, so it's not that, Mike. It'll be against this person's ability to punch you in the face.
Oh, okay. What do I roll?
I mean, if you'd like to fork anything else in, just add a couple extra dice. Like if there is anything that you can fork in.
Sure.
I don't think this person is very adept at the fights. I think they have a 3d6 in brawling, essentially.
Also, they're all starving farm workers. So
You are rot infected,
They're infected with rot.
which didn't make people weaker.
well, it didn't make the disembodied parts of them that we had to fight weak.
Okay. Oh, right. We're supposed to split up dice pools to do the thing. Anyways, we'll call this one a versus test because it's too late to go back. You shoot this person mightily.
Okay. Yeah, I just draw aim, fire,
Mhm.
and these aren't like rotating cylinders, pistols, or anything like that. So
Nope.
I don't know how many other pistols I carry. Probably 0.
Just the one. Just the one.
Well, it's supposed to be like
If you need more
ostensibly
than one,
dueling and intimidation.
Yes.
Right? It's
Mhm.
like I'll reload it when we have time, and then it'll be good for another one. But like,
what kind of
I
hired
guess-
goon even
Uh,
are you?
Would you kindly roll me 1d6 to determine how dead this person is?
So dead.
6
The dead.
The deads.
Oh.
maximum dead.
Over dead.
Yes.
This person is like dead again.
I think we called that like a B10 wound last time. Which is enough to just one hit anyone in the party, FY info.
7.
No, it's a B10. Like that's just the damage you did is 10.
Bingo.
Of
Yeah.
note, that is a mortal wound for Margareta and probably fatal for everyone else.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It
Yeah,
kills
you're on a
them.
9, and Magnus is also on a 9.
Just straight kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shoot the nearest rot-strewn person
Mhm.
in the facial region.
Sure.
I do not drop my pistol, nor do I toss it aside. I carefully reholster it because it's the only one I have,
Mhm.
and I would have to ransom many people to get another one.
Mhm.
And draw my sword and take a step forward.
Okay. There's going to be a few people who try to meet you in combat.
And I'm like, what are the mercenaries like? I don't know what their names are.
I mean, Margareta presumably does. I don't know. Like, one of them is Reach.
Yeah.
What do you care? Like, Margarita knows enough about them. To,
Reach, volley at fire a volley, then
Then close to
and into
melee.
the fray. Yeah.
Great. Reach is like, yes, ma'am. And there's, like the slight stagger of gunfire.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. A number of them die. I think there's going to be like two rot-infected bandits left standing. Right. And I mean, they're approaching. Let's go back to Indiso. Right now that Zach is truly distracted.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to kick one of the casks
Good.
down off the cart,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully it rolls into the group.
So they're closing to a melee.
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe even easier.
I want to Donkey Kong them, and then B, I'm gonna light them up. What's gonna happen?
Well, no, but I'm saying they're closing into a melee with your friendly mercenaries.
My friendly mercenaries?
They are friendly towards you.
They're acquaintances. They're acquaintance mercenaries. Alright, fine. Look.
I don't want to tell you how to live your life. If you want to blow up a bunch of folk, possibly including yourself, I don't want to stand in your way. I just want to clarify.
No, I'm going to kick this cask down off the wagon.
Okay.
I'm hoping it'll roll forward. Maybe I've got part of it uncorked so it leaves a trail that I can light it with.
Sure.
Right. And then I will essentially try to gain the attention of everyone.
Yep.
And let them know that I'm going to explode them if they don't leave right now.
Sure. That's a sane set of words
Hail,
to say in that
violent
order.
people. I will be exploding you momentarily.
Right.
Trust me. This is the good stuff.
Okay. Let's roll a die of fate. See what happens. To see if your bomb explodes.
Roll not 1d1. That would be silly. There we go.
Cool. All right.
Do I need to roll to like kick it far enough? Like,
If we're doing the bloodies versus thing, I think you're going to do the bomb action and someone's going to try to do the punch action. And if they succeed in punch, it's probably not you. It's probably one of the mercenaries.
okay, I'm totally fine with that then.
Right.
All right.
So,
okay, so
because it's bloody versus, you split your dice into attack and defend, and you have to have at least one in each
okay.
thing.
Okay.
How many dice do you attack with?
Well, am I rolling? In order to roll this cask, am I like using power to push this around?
You tell me. Is this a power test? Is this throwing again? Because that's probably the bomb skill. Is this firebomb that you're also opening for fun and profit?
I'm not opening firebomb yet, although I totally should.
Okay.
Let's throw it. I will chuck it down off the wagonette.
Okay.
And so I need to.
You need to
Split it
split
up.
your
Well-
3 power dice. So do you go 2 and 1 or 1 and 2?
Well, if I'm using throwing, I have 4.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, if the downside is someone else getting punched,
Punched.
I'll put 3 on the attack and 1 on the defense.
Cool.
So, let me roll.
And your ob. So this is them punching you. Neat.
Okay.
This is them avoiding your barrel. Nice. So you have an ob 0 for your
Alright.
throwing test, and then an ob 1 for your defensive throwing test.
Do I just a -1 on the modifiers? Does that even work?
Maybe. Yeah, it should do, actually.
Oh, additional complications. Hold on. There's additional complications option.
There you go.
Submit no. Base obstacle 0. Submit additional complications 1.
You got there.
Did I though?
Yes.
Because it still rolled 4 dice.
Interesting. Oh, and the last
And the
one's
last one was a success.
Sweet.
Awesome. I'm into this. All right. Let me roll the 1 die for defense.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So,
Mercenary's fine.
I mean, you functionally bounce off each other. Your barrel, like, there's a few people who, like, ash, fuck, and, like, dive out of the way of your barrel because they know, like, kaboom is approaching. The person, the mercenary who's, like, grappling with this particular rot zombie, like the rod zombie jumps on them and like tackles them, and both of them kind of get bowled over by the barrel, and they're just effectively like wrestling now.
Okay.
Which means we go again. How would you like to split up your dice? Same way?
Talking to Margareta, huh?
No.
Me?
It's the bloody versus continues until
Someone's dead.
someone like retreats or is
Okay. I would like to split them up the exact same way.
cool. So will they. They get one success. They get no success.
All right. So rolling my attack.
Mm-hmm. Cool. 2 successes, which beats 0, and that's actually 1 success because it's. Oh no! Yeah, you're learning it. Okay. So they don't defend. Do you defend against them? No.
No.
Cool.
That's all right because they're both going to be on. One, the rod zombie just bit my teammate, but my teammate's about to be on fire too.
Yes.
So
yeah, Margareta, one of your mercenaries, I think it's Reach. I think it's the one with a name.
This one has to be impactful. We have
Right.
to kill one of the ones we know, right?
Right. So yeah, it's Reach gets bitten in the neck, and like is holding his neck and like screaming, and then the zombie just like coughs up that orange powder right in Reach's face, and then the torch impacts the side of the barrel and kaboom.
But flexibility is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fire fixes everything.
Okay, definitely have to go back to Magnus for some mercenary money.
Just gonna change.
How many?
There we go. Reach the loyal sharpshooter and cannonsmith, who is dead.
Are there any one of those these bandit people left?
1.
All right, I'm gonna go stab them.
Okay. You would like to sword at them.
Yeah.
That's right, Mike. We're taking them out, 2 a woman and/or children. Every single one. We got them.
Not just the men, but the women and the children.
It's very 2018 woke male feminist. We don't just kill the bandit men. We also kill the bandit women.
I was going for Star Wars, the Revenge of the Jedi, or whatever that one was.
Sure.
We're
All
also
right.
like we're creating job openings now too.
It's the...
Yeah.
I was doing the like
We're
more
creating
female
job stack.
prison guards.
Yeah, more female drone pilots.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be a similar sort of thing, so I don't feel like learning fight or subjecting y'all to a fight yet. This doesn't seem particularly high stakes enough yet either.
Right.
What if it's a bite?
Right.
You gotta pour alcohol down you and then light it up.
Okay. Do I know what the attacker my target's like dicey bits are, or am I just guessing?
I don't think you know when you split them. How would you like to split up your bloody versus dice?
I'll do 2 and 2.
Okay. It's going to be the same thing, 2 and 1.
Can I fork anything into these, or
Yes.
that's not how this works?
Yep. Yeah. What else would you like to fork into your swords?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what would be a reasonable thing to fork into sword, or to spoon into sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actually called sword, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Swords.
No, I just don't understand how letters work.
Okay.
Boxing, brawling, or any appropriate melee weapon skill. I have none of those things.
Okay. I mean, would you like to make
guessing.
arguments for things?
Can I make an argument for inconspicuous or stealthy?
Yeah, I mean, if you're sneaking up and gonna like shiv him real good.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and
The child's frame was framed by the light from the fire of their burning parents.
Yeah.
right as the explosion distracts people. I'll slip behind and stab.
Cool. So you're up to 5 dice that you get to split.
3-2.
Cool. All right. So they're gonna roll to punch you about the head and neck.
And I don't roll.
Good.
Do I roll bang or anything? Or
If you want to spend fate, you can.
So, I'm not sure.
So you rolled 3 successes to their 1, so you hit them.
Okay.
They rolled 2 successes to your none, so they hit you.
Right.
Hi, Zach.
Oh, I see. The 2-1 is backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you did attack and defend, and then I did attack and defend in the same... So we did
Gotcha.
attack, defend.
So what do I do to re-roll that defense?
You don't have any dice you can re-roll.
Okay.
You take it.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah.
So we get to learn about wounds.
Yay!
They suck.
They do suck. And the next wound you get, that's me burning the zombie bite off of you. Also gonna suck.
It may not necessarily be a zombie bite. It could just be the explosion bits.
Zombie. Would you like... Oh, you're sorting them. Okay.
Sorted.
Yep. How good is your sword?
It's 4.
Wow. Okay. This is a person who dies. Taking the hit. Okay. Weapons. They had a staff. They bonk you with a B2 wound. I don't actually think that even bothers you.
E2 is probably superficial, which is a +1 ob to everything. So.
I think it's a +1 ob briefly. Oh no, it's just a +1 ob. Okay.
I like how superficial wounds are +1 ob, which is +1 to everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
But
everything else is minus dice.
There's minus dice, and the light wounds are actually less of a penalty, sort of, than the superficial wounds.
No. Because those are like also minus from stats, and yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wounds are always considered to be separate entities and are not added together. However, the effects of wounds are compiled as an overall penalty to the character. Okay.
All right, makes sense. So I got that bonked, but I also stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to combat and marked a B2 wound on you.
Yes, you control my sheet as you do. So I am seeing this in real time.
Interesting. Mortal wound for you is B10, and then you step stuff back. So yeah, that should just be a superficial wound. Also, the other way wounds work is, if not tended to quickly, wounds in burning wheel will bleed out. This can cause further debilitation. Penalties can also result in a character's death. Superficial and light, these wounds do not bleed. A midi wound must be treated before the conclusion of the session, or else it becomes a severe wound.
Ooh.
The wound ceases to bleed at severe. Severe wound must be tended to before conclusion of the second scene after its issue, or the wound progresses to traumatic.
Yay.
Well then.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I did not have those things.
So yeah, treatment for superficial wound is 1 across any of the healing skills.
Cool. Of which I am not trained in. Luckily, Zach is, right, Zach?
What?
You're trained in healing, right?
Definitely.
You're definitely trained in field dressing, bloodletting, apothecary, herbalism.
I am trained in herbalism.
Surgery, song of soothing, chirurgy, child rearing, or nursing.
Yep.
Child rearing.
Yep.
Child rearing is you stitch people up?
I mean,
Yes, it does exactly that.
yeah. It's also if you want to child rearing a traumatic wound, it's an OB 12 test.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, I will totally when this whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. So the last rot bandit lies fallen, slain. impale it on a sword.
You should kick
All
them
right.
back into the fire.
Yeah, let's make sure that we burn all these bodies, man. Wait, where did Reach go?
Somewhere in the pile, I'm pretty sure.
Alas, poor Reach.
We hardly knew you. Yeah, what does Pakun think of me burning a bunch of people on his land?
Pakun is the... Actually, would you like to roll a Pakun-wise?
I sure would.
Cool. Job 3? 2? 2.
2?
2.
2 is theoretically possible.
Because, yeah, does Pakun comment... Like, does Pakun say, thanks, I hate it? Is essentially the question.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, up 2.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost.
I mean, would you like to spend fate? You got 1/6 in there.
Sure, why not? I got a ton of it.
Okay.
Nope.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
I mean, like, you're like, would Pakun hate this? And you start going over, like, you know, wine, fungus, endings, sacrament. You know, this seems like the burning of something. It's an ending. This seems
This
fine.
is an ending sacrament. It's totally legit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this all seems fine.
Now we should have buried them all in shallow graves below the grapes, so that they might feed from their strength. Great.
This whole vineyard actually looks super picked over too.
More people. Okay, so
Whoa. First off, I need you to create like a poultice or something for this minor bump on my head.
It's a bite.
Sure, let me look at that.
Quarterstaff.
Oh, right, it was a quarterstaff. Okay. Well, it's a bite.
Like, turn him around, pour some booze like right into the wound. First thing.
Does this look infected?
Not
will-
Googling that. Definitely not on stream.
And then I will wander like a little ways away from the fire. Using the light of the fire, I will pick like something off the ground and like wrap it in one of my Molotov cloths, and soak that in booze, and then like come over and.
Is this actually like actual medical herbalism?
This is sort of, yeah. I'll take a shot at actually herbalism.
Okay, so you're actually like you're not just applying alcohol and rag. You're actually doing like actual herbalism with stuff.
I'm doing that too.
Herbalizing.
Yes.
Okay.
Herbalizing.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, it's an OB1 herbalism test.
Awesome.
Is that different?
Nailed it.
I need to find out what happens when you fuck up on a wound, because I think it can get worse.
I think I just find a bunch of alcohol. Bloodstream.
Burning alcohol applied to the wound. Not the greatest for me personally.
The best thing is I don't know who like good doctors are. So that's fun.
Thundering Valley, they don't have good doctors here.
Right.
Spoilers.
It's a good
You'll
thing
have
you
to
didn't.
go home to be saved.
That's also like a 15-minute process, by the by.
Fucking up my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, that's why I failed.
Recovering from an injury is a hard deal. For the lesser wounds, it's possible for the body to take care of itself. But for Midi through Mortal, the character's own health must be augmented by external aid. Okay. Recovery times. Failed treatment. For superficial, this isn't so bad. The character rolls recovery, but does not have access to the bonus dice provided by treatment. Okay. So, Mike, if you would kindly roll me an OB1 health test.
There's a good chance you still, a really good chance you still succeed.
Yes.
I get to take credit for it.
Yes.
What's a
With my weird Bernie
Health is one of your stats up by
poultice.
steel. You probably have like 4 or 5 health.
2 with
Cool.
a 6 that I could possibly explode.
The pain fades immediately.
Ah,
I am good.
you're as good of a doctor as you are a winemaker.
I like to think so.
If you had failed, it would have remained throbbing for 10 minus 4 hours. So yeah, it gets better in 7 hours in a worst case for you.
I like the idea that you have a cloth that's like strapped to your head now. It has grapefruit juice and like vodka on it.
Yeah.
This is the new plan.
Let's take a 5-minute break here.
I'm into that.
Also, Adam, you're muted. Just in time to go to break.
Yeah, that explains why.
All right. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere unless you feel the need to, but please return in 5 minutes. That would be appreciated. Thanks. Goodbye. All right, we're back, and we were just talking about how Indiso's secretly like a badass.
Yeah. Like, I was looking at the explosion, so that's, like, minus points there, right? But otherwise, yeah, no, Indiso, like, major badass points tonight. Still no appreciable combat skills whatsoever. Just
Less damage than Margreta did.
Yeah, Margreta did, like, a disturbing quantity of wounds in a very short period of time.
And took, to her, a disturbing quantity of wounds.
Right. I also just want to... I'm having leftover pancakes now.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's what those are. Because for a second before your focus kicked in, they looked sort of like frogs on a plate, and I was like...
Also, this is some Earl Grey simple syrup. Because I know how to treat myself.
Nice.
And I was like, what snacks do I have in this apartment? And I have leftover pancakes, and I have Earl Grey simple syrup.
Delicious.
Yeah. No, like I'm slowly opening up combat skills, and I'm going to be terrible at them forever. But I know how to blow things up now.
It turns out fire plus thing that is highly exothermic and in its reactions.
Yep. I'm really glad the card did not I was waiting for the explode with both of us on it.
Well, that's why I was like, so we agree. The card is loaded with kaboom, and there's 2 player characters sitting on it. So when it explodes, I don't have 2 people coming to me crying.
Nope. I knew exactly what was going on. I don't think but I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a fine delineation to have.
I think in the aftermath, like, Indiso will either leave the bodies there to be buried by some workforce that he imports or brings over from 2 tusks, or let the goats chew on them a little bit. I don't know if they're like that omnivorous.
You haven't seen any goats in this vicinity for some time.
Okay.
They've been avoiding it.
Well, we brought some with us, so...
They seem
they trying to
uncomfortable
leave?
and skittish, yeah.
Well, there was just a giant explosion.
Right. Like, you're on that cart. You're going for a ride. How's your, like, cart-wise or, like, animal handling or finesse? Yes, I went to Blades at the end there.
All of these are really good questions, and I don't think they're great. I could persuade the goats. I could convince the goats I'm not on the cart anymore, but I don't have any way of actually handling the goats.
They seem to be running back home, so I mean, you can probably... I don't know that they're going super fast, so I mean, you can probably dismount fairly safely.
Just like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yes.
We're out. No more of this thing. Alright, yeah, I will, like, get down off the cart. I will probably bring, like, a cask of the booze with me, in case we have to do more burning later.
That's fair. I don't know how much time you have, but that also just seems dickish to say no to.
Yeah, like, I would probably... I imagine myself... Like, you can ask for a rule if you want, but, like, I'm jumping off the thing, and like, I'm doing the thing where you, like, kick someone off the train before you jump off. But
Yeah.
it's with a cask of booze.
Right. And at, like, 15 miles an hour.
Yeah. 15 miles an hour is actually kind of cooking for a goat, I think.
It's a set of goats.
It's true.
A goat tet.
Yeah, I would look around. I would probably be hoping the fire was not going to spread through the grapery.
It is.
It's great.
It's a tuple of goats. I just wanted to get that out.
Tuple. And then, like, where is the rot? Because there's clearly rot around here.
I mean...
Rot sense is tingling.
Yeah, the hosts seem to have been those bandits. But yeah, like, it doesn't spread without a source. That's a thing that, I mean, at least Margreta is aware of.
Well, the wizened woman of the woods probably would have told us something about where to look for it, right?
I mean, I don't know that she actually thought to mention that, like, oh yeah, you'll want to find the source and it'll look like this. So much as, like, go over there and sort it out.
Yeah, I would be looking for. Then I would be looking for carrying a torch in one hand and my half-drank bottle of Everclear in the other as my immediate weaponry. And yeah, let's go find some rot to preserve.
If you don't have perception, I will assist. Or observation? Perception? Observing is something... we want perception here.
Observation makes a lot of sense because the rot is probably trying to remain hidden.
I have neither.
Wow. Why don't I take the lead?
That seems
with this one.
That seems fair.
Cool.
Why don't you let me... Yeah. Here, let me take that. Thank you. You were holding the torch by the wrong end.
You're not much of a torchbearer.
All right, so let me roll some. What's my ob for something that doesn't want to be found? That's something that's tiny.
What's my obs for observation?
It's against it's stealthy, because this is always a contested roll.
Gotcha.
Or a versus test.
Do I get to fork anything into observation?
I don't. So, actually, this is a thing that Mike can help me with. The rot was never particularly great at being, like, invisible, but it was always a pain in the ass to try to find. Like, we'd always be like, cool, like, can I, like, divine sense it, and, like, where does the wrongest direction feel, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, what the mundane way to do it is. And I have an idea for what failure looks like. I just don't 100% know what success looks like.
So, like, so part of the idea is it's like a blight on reality, right? So, it's like a disease or a virus that doesn't want that in order to infect the host, it can't be found right away.
Cool.
So it's not like there's like that carrier. Well, and then when it starts taking hold, it's like it takes hold smallly, like on an evolutionary basis, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if it makes big grand gestures immediately, it gets burned out when it's still a handful of body parts in a cellar. It's
playing Plague Inc. or whatever that game was where you named a disease and then you could never infect fucking Madagascar.
Right.
Okay.
Like, and that's it on sort of like a cosmic reality scale.
Sure.
Right. It tries to do that to planes, and then it's the outsider thing from our Dresden game.
Okay. So it's good at stealthy. It also has fate. It is spending fate on this stealthy roll.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
It
so
rolled.
My ob is 2.
Your ob is 2. It rolled 5 dice with fate.
Well, I rolled 4 and I got 1, 6, and 3.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm imagining there's like a fanning out somewhat to try to find this thing. Like you give some instructions. A couple of the mercenaries are like, "Fuck this!" Like Reach just got exploded, and that's not okay.
Positions are opening up the chain. Like that's
which one of you want to form like a picket line sort of thing? Put your arms out, and we just walk forward, take a step, kick over some leaves. It'll probably be crawling away.
Well, and like someone is about to step into functionally a sinkhole, and you manage to catch them and stop them.
Wow, cool.
Who was about to step into a sinkhole?
Flexibility, or the equivalent thereof. The other named person.
Okay.
Whose name does not necessarily have to be flexibility.
Temperance.
Right. Reach is like long-term unrequited love interest. Right, like the two of them grew up together, and but they never.
Temperance.
And this mercenary is like really broken up right now, like deeply broken up. Can't.
I mean, she's got her shit together, but like is definitely distracted. Yeah, about to step into a pitfall. Something about it tips you off, and you're able to stop them in time.
Oh, it's the slavering.
You notice like a bit of drool.
Yeah.
Great. So
Or
you don't step into a sarlacc pit.
That's horrifying. I'm glad I said that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you stop Temperance before she can, take the last step she ever gets to take. And like now that it's been found, now that it's been called out, like it seems obvious that it was there. To you noticed it fairly immediately. But now everyone else sort of like sees through the like false statement of reality that this thing was putting out. It was lying functionally. It was using the medium of reality to lie. And now you can see truth.
Awesome. This thing sounds a little bit bigger than a glass vial.
Yes.
We'll just cut a piece off. It's fine.
Essentially.
Well,
I mean,
let's just dunk the whole thing in one of these casks.
Let's take a chunk, and I'm like over the hole now with my various herbalism supplies and like my clippings knife and all that stuff. And I'll sort of reach down and take my knife and like sever a piece of the thing.
When it like squirms a little as the blade approaches, and it's doing its best to like avoid the cold iron of your blade.
Yeah. I continue trying to stab until I succeed.
Yeah. It
And-
doesn't take too long, but like it's irritating.
Mm-hmm. Especially since like the adrenaline is still pumping from. And I'll clip part of it off and drop it in the like jar we have prepared full of alcohol.
Sure.
Of that nature.
And like this tiny thing is like testing the edges. That's the best word you can think of for it. Is like it's like I'm picturing like a tiny little chunk of symbiote functionally like testing the barriers that it has to move around in, like how many axes of freedom it has.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. I will definitely put a lid on that and make a mental note that I need to secure that even more strongly.
Yes.
When the opportunity arises. And I'll put that back in the satchel essentially. And then I will dump the rest of the bottle of booze down the hole and light it on fire.
Okay.
We don't want to get like a little extra just in case.
We're making you a necklace and we got like a chunk this big.
Okay,
It'll
good.
be fine.
Okay. Awesome.
And like as you like demonstrate with it, like you see the thing is like worked its way up and it's like poking at the cork a little bit.
Hey, stop that.
And then it like goes back to like
shake it real hard.
Yeah, it goes back to like testing the like, and it like pokes a little like tip out to like, oh, there's surface tension. Like, what is that experience like? And like it's effectively just trying to learn at this point.
You shake it and it does the magnetic fluid thing where it does the crystal angry crystals
and
then comes back to a
Oh yeah. Like the video game version of this, like some engineer put 2 weeks into different shaders just to make this thing look super weird and cool.
Okay. Yeah, I will put that. I will look around for remaining tusks, assuming none are here.
Desolate is the word that comes to mind.
Great. Are the buildings still standing?
They are in shittier shape than the two tusks.
Okay. We're gonna have to bring people back over here, but that's an issue for.
Are you sure you want to?
Like this conversation happening over the bonfire of this heart of rot.
Right. Like, don't you want to like destroy? Like, we clearly didn't get all of it.
Yes, if the more needs to be burnt out, we need to come back. But as soon as it is, we need to reestablish Bakun's primacy in this area to strengthen them against the onslaught of the rot. They need more attachments in this world, and less, so that they might be stronger against the consumption of the rot. So it is imperative that we reestablish this as a working vineyard or grapery or whatever word they're using.
I don't know about all that, right? If you're sure that's like, I mean, that's not how we do things back home. We burn the whole thing to the ground.
Yes, but you're
and we burn everywhere that we could find from basically one end to the other until we're sure.
I'll take that under advisement. You were probably going to be spending the next week or so replacing mercenaries. So, we need to get this back to regardless, we need to get this back to the old. Properly format you an anti-scrying.
Well, and like as you hold it up, it's taken on a different form. Like it looks like a human pinky, just like rotating slowly in the.
Great. This is the best thing to have in my pocket ever. I begin the walk back over to Two Tusk's Grapery.
I mean, like 50, 60... Yeah, like 60% of the way there, you find the cart sort of like splayed across the road, the goats just like munching on stuff on either side of the...
Great. Good work, everyone. Really glad we had you aboard. Whatever. And I'll just like continue to walk back. Like, they earned a day off. I'll send someone out for it later. Yeah, I'm walking back to consult with the old woman, and I will probably be trimming myself off a little piece of this to perform experiments on.
Nice. I love the mental image of like the two of you both like surreptitiously like taking a tiny chunk of rot for your own
hiding from each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have a secret hole in the ground somewhere in the grape, like where I grow the rot so that I can test. Yeah,
that'll be fine. What could go wrong?
Should be fine.
And like, so when you pull it out of the thing to like take your slice, it's going to take some hideous form to you. Like,
great. Sobriety.
No, like it's like a doll you had as a kid.
Okay.
Like some fragment of like Indiso's past, right? Like just some tiny figment. That's what it is. That like tempestuous lover that you have, like it's a lock of her hair.
Oh, great. Okay.
As you like go to take your tiny sample of it.
I'll clip mine off. Okay.
Yeah.
I will clip a starter chunk of my beloved's hair into a similar vial.
Right.
Prepared. And then put it back in the jar and fix the seal so as to make it appear that nothing untoward has happened. Obviously. Sure.
And then, like 5 minutes later,
told you the same thing.
Margareta, yeah, you see the seal and it's obviously been tampered with. And the sample is, again, like testing the boundaries of its cage.
Yeah.
I think when you go to extract from it, like it's...
my brother's eye or something?
No, it's not like, it's not something tangible. Like, you lay it down on the table and it's somehow, like, the last nice thing your father said about you.
It's the concept of familial love.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
brutal.
Yeah. It is a thing that uses the medium of reality to lie to people. And so that's what it's making you carve apart. Is like the last time you felt home
I stab it angrily.
Right.
Because that's how I deal with my problems.
Mhm.
Anger.
Create a half dozen tiny slivers of thing that skitter into the darkness.
I'll show that thing.
I'll show my emotions.
How dare they?
I shoot it.
But yeah, you managed to get a tiny sliver for your own nefarious purposes, and it doesn't take. It's not especially difficult to mimic what Indiso did. Get a tiny vial, fill with alcohol, drop in the sample, and let it be.
All right. Call it good progress, everyone.
Yeah, that's solid. We should figure out if we need to treat it in a special way or something.
Almost certainly. I mean, if you're trying to just grow it, then no, it just needs time and matter.
Care.
Yeah.
Feed me, Indiso, feed me.
Oh. Just a few drops of blood is all it takes to keep it living.
Mm-hmm. And then, the asshole next door.
Right, slowly over time.
Starts by eating tusks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
There's gonna be a kid, like a baby goat, that just goes missing one day.
and then shows up and has a black suit on.
Yeah.
Like, special spider powers.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Spider Kid.
All right. So is there a scene that you have in mind, Magnus, or is there someone that you would be more amenable to being tempted by?
So I had a thought.
Okay.
What's to say that there isn't either... It doesn't have to be in the town. It could be somewhere large from a larger city, but there might be an actual mafia that noticed
Okay.
what I was doing and I don't know, either offended or not, or they want to offer me something I can't refuse.
I actually just thought of the Lady Anna Terreno, who's the mistress of the hunt, with whom Margreta was briefly in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Not literally, figuratively. Until Margreta realized that she was just like a sadist. And that would probably be an uncomfortable person who has a lot of money and also wishes to see these fucking outsiders dealt with.
Yeah.
A different mafia. So I do need a second... God. Okay. They're not a mafia. They're a foreign empire. Zach, have you read the names of the two foreign trading partners?
No, I have not.
Okay.
So.
Well, so there's the Elfie one that I was very proud of previously. And they're the Conclave of Ancient Arbors. And they're just super fucking elves. The other one is the Heredity of Just Conquerors.
That sounds bad.
I mean, they're probably fine.
Heredity of Just Conquerors.
Yep.
Sounds very British.
I mean, it's very hierarchical society. They aren't particularly pleased that there are upper Argent folk in this city disrupting their plans. And I mean, so far as they can tell, causing banditry, which is interrupting shipments of guns and gunpowder and similar things into their empire. An actual mafia. What would I don't know how many skills Magnus has that an actual mafia would be interested in. At the same time, so what would they get from you?
I mean, I can answer that for you, but go ahead.
So I think Any outside mercantile interest
Mhm.
would probably want to have, historically, would want to have someone who is a legitimate citizen business
Yep.
owner in their pocket. Mafia wise, I mean, that could be someone who.
We understand there's a thing you want possibly more than money itself, and we can help you get that thing. And then you're their man on the inside.
Yeah, it's someone who gets, effectively, I can get them what they want inside of the gun city, basically.
Okay. Well, not just
Although,
Gun City, Cannon City.
Cannon City, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be some sort of really not traded outside of Thundering Valley.
Well, it's not the cannons, it's the designs, right? It's the instructions for how to make cannons.
It's just the freaking lightsabers all over.
Kind
again,
of.
isn't it?
I mean, it turns out, so I think it's someone who is from the heredity of Just Conquerors.
Okay.
I don't think Magnus quite understands that they're like a state agent, because it turns out everyone in that empire is a state agent. But yeah, they offer to make your money problems go away slowly at first and then all at once. But yeah, you'll need to fulfill certain obligations to them, and you will be obligated to them. And the first thing they need you to do is pay a visit to the good Lord Fusiliere. Yeah, I think I have to make this really shitty for you.
Okay.
Pay a visit to the good Lord Fusiliere and kidnap his daughter.
Kidnap his daughter. That's.
This is the thing you got the skill set for, clearly.
Yeah, I know. I was just, what skill set is kidnapping someone's daughter? I guess.
Kidnap wise.
Yeah.
Kidnap wise is legitimate wise.
But would there be a kidnapping wise and a kidnappers wise?
Mhm.
Actually. Yeah.
That's the price right now.
That's the price. Okay.
Is Lady Bella Fusiliere.
Isn't that my
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tie a bunch of characters together so that each of you can make each other's lives more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Hands you the name of a... It's not a ship, but it's going to be like a large... Like a trader in town. The name of an inn.
An inn.
Like a tavern or something in town.
Right. Yeah.
And I have a point of contact there, and you're to get Bella there, and then their agents can take it from there. But that's the price.
Okay.
That's the starting price. Is the thing Adam knows and Magnus maybe doesn't.
Right. If the price to saving the city is some fool noble's daughter, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just gotta think of a... I mean...
And like...
Yeah?
I'm trying to think of what your contact's name would be. Because they're going to have like a vaguely Ashen Empire name, because their job is spy. This is the person that Margreta would be in 20 years if this campaign didn't happen to her.
If she wasn't disowned and destitute by the
Turning
end.
to a rot monster currently.
I mean, like that's kind of my imagination for this character, is like Margreta would be in some other country pretending to be one of them and like figuring out ways. Yeah, basically. God. Who would that be?
Fulcrum?
No, it's their last name is Trattore. Literally traitor. A foreign spy who wants cannon plans and other things from Magnus. And I think he gives you like a down payment of some cash.
Okay.
Just use this if you need any additional help getting this job started. I have plenty more where this came from, I imagine. And, yeah, like, it has taken you out to a nice dinner. Like, a nicer dinner than you've had in weeks. I think every so often, like, Vigo comes by to, like, make sure you're eating. But otherwise, like, seems pretty busy and, like, is complaining about Eladrienne, like, and how she's just such a terrible boss and, like, doesn't realize he's twisting a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shady contact of yours, because, I mean, you would have shady contacts. Trattore, who basically says, yeah, I can get you out of this hole, and the price is I need you to kidnap Bella Fusilieri. Yeah. That's fun.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like something Magnus was just set up for.
I can't make it easy for you.
No, I'm not saying you should.
Cool.
I mean, you could go looking for help with, like, someone with a goon squad and or someone with, like, the ability to knock someone out with a drink, but...
Or someone with a pendant that makes them immune to, like, clairvoyant magic.
True.
Divination.
That would be super helpful. Where to find them.
Cool. All right. It feels like we've kind of run out of some steam at this point. So let's do end of session things. And let us start with... we'll go in the same order we started with. So we'll start with Magnus. So, Magnus.
Yes.
Do you feel you worked towards, successfully or not, any of your beliefs this session?
Let's see. I did not exploit any non-citizen-owned businesses, so no.
Okay.
I don't know if the guild is all that much more secure by my efforts this time.
I mean, you didn't work towards it, but it might be.
I didn't work toward it. And I spectacularly did not show my power, or the wealth's power.
You certainly tried.
But yeah, I tried the third one
Yep.
in a grand way.
Mm-hmm. So you
and
get fate
failed.
for that.
Fate points are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a whole mess of them.
Did any of your instincts or beliefs complicate matters for your instincts or traits complicate matters for you this session?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I certainly think that the self-satisfied and prideful came out in spades when Magnus thought he could handle this situation. Kind of went way over his head.
Yes, absolutely, both of those.
And because he, I don't know. I haven't gotten myself in trouble with the other force yet, so I haven't kidnapped anyone yet.
It's getting you in trouble, I think.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, I guess those things haven't come up. Like, it hasn't flipped any other things. I'm trying to figure out if this is... I feel like this is, like... So there are persona awards beyond things than, like, you completed a belief. And it feels like you get one for that absolutely desperate resources test. I think it's probably Mold Breaker. If a player comes to a point in the story where their beliefs, instincts, and traits conflict with the decision they must make, direction they must go, and they play out the inner turmoil of the conflict in believable, engaging manner, or actually this is probably embodiment. When a player captures the mood of the table perfectly and further drives the story onward, moments like great speeches, desperate decisions, or gruesome revenge. So I feel like you did that when you were just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to roll this giant stack of dice.
See, that's an extra persona then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm laughing about the right skill, right time fate reward that we'll never get ever. Because none of us ever have skills.
Yeah.
Things that we do.
Also, just want to like point out the rules bit for deeds is deeds are rare and reserved for solely accomplishing goals larger than a character's personal agenda. To qualify for this reward, you must do something that benefits more than just the character, and do it for reasons other than personal gain. Hitching yourself to a cause that transforms the setting but doesn't directly benefit you or your friends is worth a deeds point. So, I think by like kidnapping a lady and shipping her off to some country that doesn't particularly like you necessarily, that actually might be true, despite the fact that you're doing it for selfish ends.
Yeah.
I feel like that will change the setting and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So that is me explicitly dangling that deeds point in front of you.
Yes, yes.
So you can hold me to that. And future Andrew, when you're watching this at work next Tuesday at 1.5 speed,
yeah,
you said these words in this order. Don't be a fucker. Cool. Okay. Anything else that you'd like to argue for, or?
No, I think that's about all I did today.
You did enough.
Yeah.
Just collapsed an empire, starved a bunch of people.
Like, yeah, there is like.
I mean, I don't think I starved people because I probably bought a bunch of grain really cheaply and then.
Yeah, you flooded the market with it.
Yeah.
What you really did was just like expand the personal fortunes of the Grano and Woodsorrow estates.
Yeah.
To the detriment of your own. And there probably are a bunch of people who got like dispossessed and laid off along the way. Because it's never just the person who made the decisions who suffers. Welcome to capitalism. Margareta.
Yes.
So let's go over your beliefs, instincts, and traits, ones that you worked towards. Do you want to change your third belief? Did you want to change that one? Or the second one, because the corpse is... I mean...
Wait, the corpse isn't any good at this point anymore?
I was going to say cooling rapidly, and then I was like, no, wait, it's been cold for some time and is probably actually exactly at room temperature.
Yeah, if it was cold, it'd be better. I mean, that was an idea that I had. I mean, I keep maybe using the head of Thomas Crutchwell.
Well, and so like, you haven't driven towards any of this session. The session was all about, like, my family name is all that I have left. You know, I'll protect it by thing. Like, that feels like the belief that you chased this session, right?
Yeah, and like part of it is still about like way back in the day that first belief was about in order to win back my father's affection or respect or whatever.
Yep.
So something familial.
Okay.
All the
you earn fate for like the belief that is I do thing to protect family name.
Right.
So I'm gonna just put in a thing to like
do all these beliefs.
Something family name something. Okay. Did any of your instincts get you in trouble?
I mean,
you let someone get too close.
That's right. She was violent, prideful.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of got me in trouble.
I'd argue that they got Indiso in trouble.
Well, I'm the one who got bombed to the head.
Sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can have one. I think Indiso leaning into both of those, though, is actually unexpected.
I'm sorry, actually what?
Unexpected. Indiso being like, fuck you, I've got force on my side.
Yeah, Indiso's willingness to just, like, explode a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Trait vote, argue for cold-hearted.
I mean, that's an option. I was also thinking disturbingly confident.
So, before we get sidetracked, so Margareta, I've got one for your belief about family stuff, and one for your violent trait.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
Okay. Cool. So let's add 2 fate and you up to 12. That's enough fate, probably.
Yeah.
Indiso.
Some.
Okay. Little God Pacoon favors his grapery. I will complete construction on the sanctum. Didn't really have any motion on that.
I feel like that's a thing that we can just start a session with.
Yeah.
Is like you like, and I imagine because it's Pacoon, it's like you put like the final keystone in some arch somewhere, and like just work at it for some time, and it's hard and it sucks and you sweat a bunch, and that's the point.
I spent like all day driving the last stone into place. Okay. All right. I'm building a great future for the grapery. I will solidify a relationship with the money classes who can support this endeavor. I mean, theoretically, Margareta is a member of a higher class than myself, but she's not exactly flush with cash currently.
I mean, it's the moneyed class. You didn't say a moneyed person. So, Margareta, do you feel like you have built a bond with Indiso over the course of this session? A closer bond?
We've killed people together. That's how that works, right?
He's got your guys killed and you attacked. But so, yeah.
Look, I'm also I was instrumental in getting you your hide from family necklace, right?
That's true. You helped me out when I asked for help, so that seems reasonable.
So, I mean, I'll give you Persona for that.
Awesome. Persona, let's do this.
I mean, you did the thing.
I did. All right.
You didn't mean to do the thing.
It wasn't what I was intending to do for sure. But
right.
Yes. Pacoon, the ancient patron deity of the grapery, is suffering. I will find a way to cleanse the god with. I feel like I pursued and potentially made progress towards that goal. I experimented on fire. I experimented with fire on rot.
But I mean, you already. I will find a way to cleanse a god with fire. You've already got the fire part down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you can probably have fate for this, but it feels a bit squishy.
Okay.
But I mean, it's Fate. Fate is meant to be cheap.
I do have so much of it. And then my instincts, I will accept a drink if offered, produce one if none is...
You get a Fate point for humor for being the, like, I'm producing alcohol.
Okay, great. Good, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I will look for the signs of Pakun in all things. I did that. I don't know if it caused specifically more damage than I was already doing.
Not really.
Burning down the third tusk.
Right.
And I'm always working on next vintage. Nothing.
Yeah.
I was not terribly patient tonight. I
No.
was pretty off kilter.
Yep.
I was prideful. I was violent. It's hard to call what I did traditionalist. I was definitely violent to a degree that has never been in these
Right.
before.
I think that swerve is worth Fate.
Okay. I'll take it then.
Yeah.
I will definitely take that. So that is, by my count, 2 Fate and 1 Persona.
Sounds about right.
Okay. That brings me to 13 Fate
7 Persona.
and 7 Persona.
I like that you can just, like, add 3 dice to a roll now.
Yeah,
Twice.
one of these days I'm going to need to do that, so I will do that. I will just make a bunch of wine all in a row and gray shade my...
And, like, spend 25 Fate along the way somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, that's been us. I had a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah, we're on social media. Hit us up. Otherwise, be good. Take care of yourselves. And, yeah. Have a good night.
Good night, Internet.
To each other.